I just played Emily is Away Less Than Free, I guess is the way to call it, the third game in the Emily is Away series, which I had completely forgotten there was more Emily is Away games. I didn't know about the second one, and I hadn't played the first one for a really long time, though after playing this, I'm gonna have to revisit it. The games all have a similar format as far as I'm aware, where you're messaging a series of different friends, trying to get the best ending possible depending on what scenario you're in. I got set up with a new profile on this Facebook clone with my friend Matt, who then had a quite bad breakup and ended up feeling down, and I ended up helping him create a new profile, which felt really natural. It was a perfect mirroring, really. You know, he helped me get started with a profile, and now I was helping him. But then, as time went on, despite how healthy my relationship seemed with Emily, our relationship would go on to fizzle out in the end, and Matt would come in helping me, much like I had been when I was helping out with his new profile. Again, a perfect mirroring of what was going on, which made everything just feel so natural. You could tell me that was the only ending in the game, and I would completely believe you. It just feels like everything links together and wraps around on itself, because the relationship that my character had with Emily felt like it was so healthy, despite maybe some bumps in the road. But so did Matt's, and yet Matt's ended as well. I remember when I was trying to keep a brave face about the whole thing, trying to stay positive, I remember thinking to myself, I'm doing the exact same thing that Matt was doing with his relationship. I literally commented it in the beginning of the game that maybe they're hiding just how bad their relationship was getting. And it truly is incredible. And yet there are other endings you can get depending on what you do. Truthfully, it's left me a little bit unsure. Part of me really wants to replay the game because the writing is as stupendous as it is. I want to explore more wrinkles, find out how conversations go if I take a different route. But at the same time, this story felt so perfectly put together, I almost don't want to ruin it. Part of that is from the dialogue. It truly feels like I'm not talking to characters, but I'm talking to people. These people, everyone feels fully realized, three-dimensional. You run into several conundrums through the game that you realize are never quite as clear-cut as you might think. For instance, there's a bit early in the game when Matt was seen as maybe flirting with other girls and whatnot, and you wonder, was that the reason the relationship broke up? Does Matt have feelings for other girls? Does Matt have feelings for Emily? But no, it seems that she already was feeling like she was going to break up anyway, and Matt just doesn't seem to understand how he's coming across. At least that's what happened in my playthrough. Similar thing with Jeff. Matt's wondering, is Jeff hitting on Emily? Do they have feelings for each other? And based on what I had in my playthrough, while there may be something there, it also seemed more likely that Emily was trying to help Jeff. Saying that, based on my ending, there is still a possibility that they may get together, but it was still left ambiguous, because after the breakup, Jeff's wondering what's going on with Emily. Maybe Emily really is just distraught by the relationship breaking up, and isn't even thinking about getting together with Jeff. That's the thing. Because I have all these questions, it shows how well the game managed to really suck me into the world. I can't think of it just like, oh man, she's going to get right with Jeff, I can't believe it, I can't believe I was so nice to them. It genuinely leaves me guessing because the characters do feel three-dimensional. Maybe Jeff was trying to get close to Emily, or maybe Jeff really just needed a friend, like Emily said. That's great, I love that. The sadness of the ending as well, where Emily was coming to me way too late to tell me that something was wrong with the relationship, and really it felt like no matter what dialogue choices I picked, it really wasn't going to help. But it wasn't like some big blowout fight. It felt like how a lot of relationships end, how a lot of friendships end, where they kind of just fizzle out. That in itself has left me kind of feeling a little bit down, but I can only say in a good way, this is a very good, if slightly depressing experience. All the links to old YouTube videos, a link to like some Rain background player, it all made it just feel so much more real. That with the fully fleshed characters, I feel like this is probably one of the best written games that I've played either in a good long while or possibly period. Sure, there are stories with bigger twists and turns that I'll be talking about for the rest of my life, but if we're talking about from a character-to-character experience, I don't know if there's many experiences that can truly compare. Right now, the game is part of the Steam Spring Sale, which means that it's 71p, or probably $1 in the US, as it's 90% off, and I honestly think when it's 90% off, you absolutely should run and jump for it. That is an amazing price to get this game at. I spent 3.5 hours playing it. I could spend a lot more if I go for the other endings. I just can't recommend it enough. If you're willing to overlook the fact that obviously it's not the most visually stimulating game of all time, and are willing to get sucked into the writing and characters, I think it's absolutely a must-play experience. And while I'm still torn on if I'll be playing the game again to try the other endings, I'm definitely going to be playing the second game and revisiting the first game before too long, so expect to see some reviews on the channel for them. And you can check those out by hitting that subscribe button. Please be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.